Hello, and welcome to the Curse at Ravenspire live play Dungeons & Dragons podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Doug Kapoff. With me are our players, Ethan, playing Rivers, the human fighter. Drew, playing Lysander, the elven bard warlock. Kevin, playing Casimir, the Dampier sorcerer. Pat, playing Roderick, the human barbarian. Darren, playing Calsolus, the tiefling rogue cleric. And Jeff, playing Zora, the reborn ranger. This is the When Bards Attack podcast. All right, welcome back to the When Bards Attack podcast, Curse at Ravenspire. I'm your Dungeon Master, Doug Kapoff. Joined with me tonight, Pat above me, Drew below me, Darren and Ethan, and Jeff is out tonight. This is a special shortened episode this evening, but we're going to go ahead and jump right back in. Last time, actually, let me get some music kicked off here in the background. There we go. All right. Last time, Curse at Ravenspire. Our adventurers made their way deep, or finished making their way deep through the woods where they found where the bones of St. Andrel were being kept. After an encounter with a wight, a creature of the undead that had been left to guard these bones, you were able to recover them, bring them back to the church. While speaking with the wight and trying to negotiate with him, you learned that the bones were brought out here by someone who he was betrayed by and murdered. It was the spirit of this betrayed man that was there, being forced to protect these bones by someone named Asmodeus. A ancient demon, devil, technically, who had directed him to stay here and was basically had no choice but to try to stop you. You learned that he had been betrayed by someone in town. He had been paid to bring the bones here, and then when he got here, he was betrayed and murdered. So we brought the bones back to the church. You have decided that Irina will stay in the church with her brother, with the bones, to be protected from Strahd, while you guys decide on your next move, whatever that is. But in the meantime, as we start episode 11, we have a dinner date to get to. So as we pick things up, the five of you are back at the Blue Water Inn. You guys were having a quick conversation. If there's any more you want to have now, you can. But having a quick conversation about next steps before you headed to dinner at Fiona Wachter's home. So I will turn it back to you all to see if there's anything further you want to do before you guys get cleaned up and ready to head to dinner. So I'll hand wave that if there's nothing to discuss, but we'll restart in the bar. You guys have just gotten back from the church. Turn it to you all.
First thing, I don't know if it's just me, but you sound really muffled, Doug.
Really?
Is it just me?
Yeah, Doug, check your mic connection. Give it a little reset.
Yeah, let me disconnect and come back in. Hang on one second.
All right.
Actually, I think I know what happened. Hang on a second. Thank you for the heads up. Let's see. All right. Aha! I see what it is. Try that. Is that better?
Oh,
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
All right. Hello, testing. Can you hear me?
I was gonna say, can we do a little rewind? I think,
Oh, no,
guess
I
first
can't hear
my
anybody. Hold
I
on. Love
Okay.
technology. Testing, testing. Hang on one second. All right.
Stand by. Technical difficulties.
Little technical difficulty, but we are back. Now I'm having other technical difficulties, but one problem at a time.
Jesus. No.
No, it's fine. It's all right. It's going now. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. Now that we've gotten the microphone issues out of the way, we'll jump back in. So, as I said before, I turn it back to you all. In the bar, anything you guys want to discuss before you move on?
I wanted to see about rewinding real quick. Do a quick jump back and then jump back. The hidden entryway that we came in.
Yes.
What was, or that we came up, like, what was the actual, like, can you remind me what that looked like? Like, what was the...
A number
How
of
was it
boards.
open, or...
Yeah, so a number of giant, this is a giant palisade wall made from giant,
Right.
Tree trunks and wood and bound together with rope. A section of it had been cut free and cut loose, and it literally had to be moved in and out, and it was heavy. A normal, probably human couldn't do it by themselves, probably take two people or somebody very, very strong. Not super hidden. I mean, it's hidden enough. Careful investigation would easily spot it, but it would be very difficult to move for a single person.
When we got back, since we leveled, but I hadn't picked my stuff yet, can I rewind time for a second and use my new mending spell to fix it so that it is no longer
Sure. Yeah, I'm okay
trapped
with
or a secret door?
that. Yep, absolutely. You had leveled before, so I'm good with that.
Yeah, I figured I would have said something along the lines that we can't keep Irina safe if there are, leaks in the city where these creatures can come and go as they please.
Sure.
Good
Smart.
call. I agree.
Good call. All right.
Cool.
Take 1,000 experience.
Sweet. We just leveled again.
All right. So the five of you are in the tavern. Is there anything you guys want to discuss before you guys go head up to your rooms, clean up, and head out to the Walker's home?
How long do we have before dinner?
Probably less than an hour at this point.
I feel like this noble woman is she's obviously powerful. She's got a lot of pull here. She seems cunning. She seems sharp. I, Rivers, recognize my own intelligence and charisma ceiling, and I'm wondering if there's anything that I need to remind myself. What should we really be careful about divulging? Because I feel like she's might kind of subtly grill us. You know what I mean?
It's a good question. She obviously wants something of us, knowing that most of the residents here know who we are, not because of who we are, but what we represent. As far as we're not the first group to come through, they know kind of our role. So I'm assuming, I think it's safe to assume that she knows enough about us in that regard.
She
I don't
also
know if we know enough.
Yeah. She saw Ismark and Irina with us when we arrived, and now we're going to go to dinner without them. So that might come up.
Yeah, but she doesn't know the nature of who they are or what they're
No,
involved in.
definitely not. I'm just kind of thinking. She seems like a real dinner table political schemer. That's why I just wanted to bring it up.
I would say to keep that to ourselves, because now I forget who said it, but somebody told us that she was more of a Strahd sympathizer, and that she thought that the mayor or whatever of the town was going too far.
Yeah,
so
like
letting
asking for
her
trouble.
letting her know that Strahd's chosen betrothed is here in the city is probably not wise.
Yeah.
We can just say that they're resting after all the adventures on the way here, that sort of thing. I don't think we need
Okay, cool. Just people that maybe we agreed for a fee to just get from one town to another as like.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm down with that story.
We can say that, like their house was attacked, and
Yeah.
like we can skirt the truth and not have to worry about lying. We just don't tell them
Don't
who
divulge
she is
everything.
in relation to.
I would even say like the opposite. Like they hired us requires like
Right.
it makes them seem more intriguing. Like why would they hire you? If we say we hired them to show us around a foreign place, like then that already establishes like why they're with us. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Past
Sounds
that,
good.
I don't know that we know enough
To get
as far
ourselves
as,
in trouble.
Yeah, I wouldn't divulge anything about our departed friend either at this point.
Yeah. Maybe the whole incident at the Vistani camp we can skip over that.
I mean, I wouldn't lead with that, but
Yeah. Well, actually, we're here in part because.
Yeah. Let me tell you a fun story about I had with the Vistani.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, not chill with them at all. Okay, cool. Well, that sounds good. Do we need to do anything before we go?
I think there was discussion of just kind of spending a few minutes cleaning up, which is one of the reasons you guys came back here. But
I will. Yeah. I will definitely. Roderick and I will definitely both be very out of our element in this environment, like dinner party, like not good to go at all. But I'll splash water on my face. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So nothing else to discuss. You guys gonna head back to your rooms, kind of get yourselves cleaned up and ready to go.
Yeah, as we start to go, I kind
hold
of.
on. Oh, before you go to clean up, because there's something I've got a couple things to do once you guys break from this conversation. Okay.
Do what now?
Then I said before we go, as into her house, or before you go up to your rooms.
I was going to say as we're going to our rooms, but
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, then go. Yeah.
as everyone was getting up, I was going to tap Roderick on the shoulder and ask him if he's got a second while everyone else is.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty dirty, but
once everyone's kind of out of earshot and heading to their rooms, I I look at him and just sort of like this, cross my hands over my chest, and I'm just like, so I've noticed some strange things happening with you lately. I'm sure you've noticed.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you'd be interested in letting me try to figure out what's happening with you.
Yeah, I'd like those answers as well. Mm-hmm. Ever since we've gotten to Barovia, it's weird. I've grown a lot more powerful.
I'm sorry.
That much is obvious.
The bartender tries to interrupt you all from just a little further away. Did you say your name was Roderick? Did I hear that name? Is that Roderick?
Yeah. I'm certain you've not heard of me before. I am not from anywhere close.
No. There a package came for you earlier this afternoon.
Oh my god.
Is it what? Is it up at the? Does he have it with him?
I hope it smells like cheese.
Honey, do you still have? Where did you put that package from this morning? Right, dear. It's behind. You hear a quick conversation. Oh, okay, yeah, I see it. You see him go underneath the bar, and he picks up your bag.
My bag. Oh man. Open it up and rifle through everything.
Yeah, you open it up. All of your stuff is still in it, and there is a note.
What does it say?
It says, "I apologize for your inconvenience. He was not supposed to take any of your things. My deepest apologies." Then just the letter S with a dash.
My God.
Could be anybody.
Could be anyone. Let's not jump to conclusions.
All right, yep.
It's not to rash conclusions. Could be anybody.
Yeah.
Fold it into quarters and consider that resolved.
It's a signed napkin. It'll be worth money after we kill him.
There you go.
Thank you very much for holding on to this for me.
Of course.
I lost it. Yes, I lost it yesterday morning.
Damn it! I was really hoping that was gonna be like your one-armed man. Like every time, just kind of like, and I'm looking for my damn backpack. Where is my backpack?
If you see a burlap bag with a lambskin lid, it's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was out front a couple hours ago.
That is surprising, but okay. I really appreciate that. Sorry.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I heard the name Roderick. I apologize.
It's okay.
He goes back to his bartender duties.
Pull my bag into my chest and lean quite really closely into Calsola's. I really need to speak quieter, don't I?
Well, it would have been when Calsola stopped you. I assume he used his name. Yeah, I assumed.
I guess I need to. I didn't think I was talking that loud.
I'm always going to assume it's my fault. Anyhow, back to what you were saying. That's sure. Any answers would be nice, or any hints at least would be.
I probably only need about 10 minutes. Do you want me to try to figure something out now or after dinner?
It's probably a good 20 to 30 minute walk to the far south side of town. It'll be tight on time.
Sure, let's do it.
Let's fucking do it.
I want some answers.
We didn't get an exact time.
No, that's true.
All right.
It's always fashionable to be a little bit late.
That's right. All right. Let's go up to your room. I don't think we want to be casting magic out here in the middle of the bar.
No, no. All right, so what are you gonna do? Do I need to drink some tea or melt some candle wax, maybe?
No.
Oh,
This conversation is
Let's-
amazing, by the way. Just to want to point that out.
Drew, just don't, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna every time just point that out. It's fucking
You're,
incredible.
you're gonna take him to a room. Is that what I gathered?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to. While that conversation's happening, I'm going to handwave one thing, which is Drew. When you get into your room, I assume yours and Calsolus's room. Although I don't know that anybody's picked rooms at this point. You guys got the rooms, but and one of them is now empty because you did pay for Irina and Ismark to have a room. But as you go into your room, Calsolus, to get yourself freshened up, as soon as you close the door, as you turn, you see a shadowy figure standing by the window, hands behind his back, staring out the window.
Lysander, right? Not Calsolus.
Lysander, yes. Sorry.
Okay, I was confused as to who was going to be responding.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's all right. Look back at the door and make sure I'm in the right. I'm supposed to be in the right room.
You recognize the outline of your patron.
I see.
Kind of shadowed, not quite fully corporeal, but you definitely recognize the outline of him as he looks out the window. His back is to you, but you recognize generally that it looks like him.
Is the view any good? I haven't had a chance to look out the windows here.
No. This place. Why are we still here? Turns and looks over his shoulder at you.
You got a way out?
Yeah. Close the door, but haven't you been eavesdropping this whole time?
Yes. Not making enough progress. This place reeks of death and decay. We cannot stay here much longer. If we do, death will follow.
Yeah. Well, if you've got a way out of here, I am all ears.
Well, I've been working on it. What have you been doing?
I've been trying to lift the curse from this land.
Well, he turns fully now.
It's a
towards you.
multi-stage plan.
Is it? What did you do with the girl? Or, no, he would know that. You shouldn't have left the girl at the church.
Well, I figure the church might be a little bit safer than a drafty inn with a lot of ears and comings and goings.
You know she won't be any safer there, not for long.
Not sure she'd be safer anywhere.
The church may keep out lesser creatures, but from what I have assessed, I've been searching through this land, sensing through its power. Kind of narrows his eyes and kind of looks back and forth. Strahd is more than a vampire, that is clear. He is tied to this land in a way I've not sensed before.
I mean, if you're telling me that Irina staying at the church is not a permanent solution, I agree. I believe it's a temporary solution. Fortunately, it will keep her safe enough from the minions that Strahd sends after us in the meantime, until Strahd gets bored or fed up enough to come after us himself.
Well, good, and I'm glad we agree, because she is an asset. We can use her. Leverage. He looks back out the window. There is other powers here besides Strahd. I have sensed. To the west, he looks. The window kind of faces west, and he says the way he's looking, kind of directionally. To the west, power stirs. Something unlike anything else I've sensed here. light of sorts, some sort of holy power grows there. To the southwest, a convergence of magic is calling to me, clinging to life. One of the few places in this dead land that I sense life coming from, exuding life. But to the south of us, there is something dark, something ancient sleeping there. Nothing, not like anything I have sensed before. It's like a pressure. I can feel it. Be careful.
I mean, I'm glad that you're reading the sightseeing brochure. I'm not really sure how any of this is going to help us get out of here.
Yes. We need allies.
Or if it's going to, as you say, bring us more swiftly to our demise.
Maybe the latter if you're not careful. But we need allies. We need a way through Strahd. If he is the
that
only...
we are of agreement.
Look, we must be quick. And as he starts to say this next sentence, as he starts to say we must be quick, his voice kind of trails off, and you just see him vanish, just like dust. And the room gets dark for a second, and like a flash, Drew, just kind of like a quick, like the lights went out and back on for a second, the room is gone. You see yourself standing on a mountaintop. Down below you, you can see this valley. You're probably on one of the mountains looking down into Barovia. You can see some things that look kind of familiar. You see the lake kind of in the distance. All around you is mist. And then you hear chanting in the distance. And then words kind of cut through the din. We are ancient. We are the land. We are the mists. We are Barovia. And as you hear these words, they sort of sing-songy, like they're coming from different directions. Through the mist, Drew, you see a giant... Oops, I gotta find my notes. A giant, what looks like a giant slug, kind of stepping through, kind of slithering through the mists. And that's directly ahead of you. To your left, you see a giant spider. And then to your right, a giant snake slithers out. As these words are being said, we are Barovia, we are the land, we are the mist, you could tell that these creatures are each speaking it, but in like parts. Like one, it starts to the left and it finishes to your right. As these creatures appear into the shadows, or come out of the mist into this shadowy void around you.
So the creatures themselves, the kaiju, are saying this?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you say anything?
I mean, you don't really see this kind of service in a hotel. I was kind of expecting a whirlpool bath or something. But, we are ancient. We are the land.
You've heard that before. You've heard that chant before. You heard it in the bottom of the bottom of the Durst house. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you. Well, the Dursts were like fanatic demonologists, or you know.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I will ask in no particular any of the slug or the spider or the snake. Who are you?
We are Barovia. We are the mists. They answer again. great tapestry has weakened, one of them says. The next one says, the threads have been pulled. You, the last one says, you have brought a power with you that is not welcome here. You are not the first.
I agree. You open a door, I'll get the hell out of here.
You are not the first. There is another. Yes, another. They are not welcome here. The tapestry weakens, one of them says again. Do you wish to leave this place?
Of course.
There is no leaving this place.
Trick question.
Psych.
Too fucking bad, dude.
It seemed like an incredulous question. Like, why do you want to leave? I mean, it's kind of how it sounded.
Why would I want to stay? Why would you want me to stay?
You just said you wanted me to leave.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
He is not welcome here with you. These are our lands. They were our lands. One of them
are you
says.
talking about the Wizard of the North?
Speak of the one that I speak of the one that you have spoken with. The Fae has no place here. These are our lands. They were our lands. No longer our lands, one of them says. The tapestry grows weak, another one repeats. The powers of the mist
What happens if the tapestry breaks?
Yes, Strahd. The powers of the mist grow weak. He seeks to leave. He must be stopped. He cannot leave. If he does, all will be destroyed here. He is ancient. He is the land, another one says. He must be stopped.
I thought you were the land.
We are. But Strahd has grown powerful. Too powerful. One of them answers. Stronger than we thought. He must be stopped. It is no longer our land. No longer our place. The tapestry weakens, one of them says again. He must be stopped. All three of them now say in unison, can you stop him? We can give you power to stop him. You could rule in his stead, one of them says.
Not really interested in that.
Then you will die like the rest. Yes. He cannot escape. He cannot escape. He will die like the rest when he does. Time is short. The tapestry weakens, they all say in unison.
I mean, this isn't the worst conversation I've ever had. So...
Think on our offer. Rule in his stead. Power we can give you. He must be defeated. He must be stopped before he escapes. All will end.
Really? Can you help me find The book, the weapon, the ally, and the relic.
We can give you much if you agree to help us, to join with us. Yes.
Just need to point in the right direction.
Information is not free. Join us. Take our power. Take our pact.
I've already
We
got
can
enough
help you.
people living in my head.
Think of our offer.
I mean, there's already 2 of us in there.
You can rule in his stead. As they say that, the connection breaks suddenly, Drew. And you are back in your room, right as Darren walks in.
Am I walking in?
Well, you said you were headed to a room, so...
Oh, we were heading to Roderick's room.
Oh, Roderick's room. Then, never mind. Then it just breaks.
Yeah.
No.
Leaving you in your room by yourself. Lysander, any thoughts that you want to share? Or just
Let
leave it at
me come back to me. Go to something else. I want to think on this.
that? Okay. Well, there's one last scene before dinner, and that'll be Darren. What are you guys doing in your room?
All right, so I guess we go up to Roderick's room. I'm like, all right, just lay down, make yourself comfortable. You don't actually have to do anything. See if we can figure this out.
Is it gonna hurt?
Couldn't,
God damn it.
but I guess we'll find out. I'm guessing it's your first time.
There we go. That's really.
Now you're just leaning into it.
Okay, and describe what you're gonna do next.
Okay. What do you guys? What are you gonna do?
Okay.
Sorry. All right. So once he lays down, I start essentially chanting in Draconic, which I'm assuming he doesn't know. And then I take my hand and I start tracing a rune above his head, and then another one above his heart, and then a third one up above, sort of form like a pyramid of runes. And then I essentially draw a line that connects them and to create this pyramid. And I do this over the course of, I guess, about 10 minutes, casting Identify as a ritual spell.
Okay.
To get to the crux of what it is that's powering him, or whatever, trying to reach out and in to see what's going on.
As you finish casting this spell, your eyes and Roderick, are your eyes open or closed, Roderick, while she's doing this?
Oh, open. Looking around.
Okay.
Just kind of like
looking
being
around
as still as I can, but yeah.
awkwardly. As you finish this chanting and this creation of the rune on your forehead, as you see Calsolus kind of step back, eyes kind of turn to a kind of a golden color for just a moment. Darren, I'm reading Identify again just to recap myself exactly what it does. As you look at Roderick, in and out, staring at him and through him, you see there is an aura around him, magical in nature for certain. It comes from within, and it is this golden aura of radiance surrounding him. And you've seen this before in priests, in holy items, cleric magic. It looks like he is just exuding holy magic. It's like imprinted in his skin, in his body, all through him. You can see it kind of in and out. But there's something more there. As you look deeper, this golden light has an inner shell to it as well, and you can see almost a second layer of darkness, almost dancing together, dark and light, necrotic energy, necrotic magic that is buried deep below. And you can actually almost, as you look around, Darren, you can see that there's necrotic energy all around you. Not done really and identify, more than just at a specific item. But as you kind of look at him and around it, there is tendrils of necrotic energy kind of throughout. As you look out the window, you can see it just kind of almost like snowflakes in the air. And it looks very similar to what Roderick has. Almost like there's a relationship to this necrotic energy that's almost in the air around you, but it's also in his body, underneath this radiant energy, and they're playing together almost in perfect balance. But it seems like he's exuding it, like it's part of him. Beyond that, it doesn't tell you much more than that. But it's natural, and something that was not there before. You can tell it's, I don't know if you've done an identify near him previously that you may have seen that, but there's definitely this radiance and this darkness kind of interplaying together, and it's coming from within him. Some sort of a holy anchor, almost. Something you've seen in clerics before, those that serve usually a god or goddess.
Yeah. So after I kind of see everything that I can see, I sort of just wave it off and look down, and I'm roughly, when did this start for you? Like, what? Like, can you think of? You weren't doing this when we first met, right? Like, I watched you fight at the beginning of our adventures together, and there was no
yesterday
sort of holy magic. Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah. Yesterday morning. So what? Can you think of something that would have triggered this? I'm assuming this is new.
I'm not entirely sure. Look down at my feet a little bit. I've always had some problems controlling my anger and my temper, but it seems to really come in handy here. But until we got to here, I certainly wasn't emitting any. There weren't symbols showing up on my arms and lights coming off of my hammer. This just happened since we've been here in Barovia.
But it wasn't just arriving, because I saw you fight. We fought together in Irina's house. We fought monsters there, and that you weren't doing this then.
That actually, yeah, that's when it did start. Is in the house.
Was it?
Oh yeah, that was the first one.
It wasn't happening in the Durst house.
That's right. Sorry.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. When we fought, in the basement and everywhere else in the death house, like, you weren't, radiating energy. It wasn't until we were attacked at Irina's.
I'm not doing anything differently. I mean,
did something happen though that changed between?
I think I died.
Well, that might do it.
Oh gosh, I'm failing on Kevin's name right now.
Casimir.
I almost said Ionis. Casimir. He brought me back to life. That's the only thing that I can think of which would have been a connection to any type of magic, but maybe he imbued me with some sort of magic. Can you do that? You can totally do that, can't you?
Well, given what I saw and given what we know about Casimir at this point, I'd say that's entirely possible. The magic that's powering you presents as holy and radiant and similar to the type of magic that I use, right, as the cleric. But deep down, there's a dark organ to it. There's a darkness tied to it. And knowing that we know who Casimir is, I'd say there's a good chance that something happened at that point.
He wouldn't bring me back to just kill me again, would he?
I mean, we don't know his motivations at this point. Obviously, he's the son of the person we're here to kill, and he left us. Who knows at this point? We haven't known any of each other that long to be able to say. But I would say there's definitely something to think on. That there is a darkness attached to this power that you should keep in mind as you're using it.
And officially, Pat, because I think you were supposed to pick one or the other. I know we've been using Radiant. As of this moment, with this spell cast, you may now use either Radiant or Necrotic when you select it.
Cool. I don't even have to do anything. I just have to remember that.
Yes.
Oh, so you can switch now?
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
Just keep doing identify and unlocking little skills for me.
Possibly.
I mean, we can. It's free.
Okay.
Well, that's scary.
Essentially.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
I guess my one takeaway that I would keep in mind is that it seems to only present when you, for lack of a better word, lose it in battle, and that anger tied to that potential darkness. I would just keep that in mind.
Got it. Head off to clean up.
And with that, I will also go and clean up.
All right. Then I'm going to hand swipe 10 or 15 more minutes as you guys kind of get cleaned up. Lysander having deep thoughts as that conversation happened. But you guys know it's pretty close to the time, the 7 o'clock or kind of 7-ish time, just after sunset, which is what she had said or requested. You guys can start heading out if you'd like, unless there's any conversation you guys want to have beforehand, as we bring the group back together.
I don't know, does Lysander say anything when I get to the room?
Lysander?
No, I'm still trying to figure out this acid trip I just went on.
Okay. Well,
Doug,
you guys,
does he look? Does he look odder than normal to me when I come in?
Did the conversation bother you in any way, Drew? Besides, in a way that you think Lysander would be disturbed by it, or I'll let you decide. I mean,
Yeah, I would think. This would be a pretty thought-provoking proposal. A way of like.
Just because I want to make sure everybody can join in any conversation here, I'm going to assume that as you kind of walk in and see this, everyone's kind of grouping in the hallway here to go. You can see that he looks a little disturbed, maybe.
Probably listful.
Everybody's
yeah, like just kind of deep in thought, contemplative.
So I walk in. You're never going to believe what I figured out about Roderick. What the fuck's up with you?
I just had a dream about a giant slug, spider, and snake chanting with me.
Interesting. Well,
Was yours just as interesting?
well, it turns out that Roderick's holy power has a dark influence, and it might have come from him dying and our friend, now I just forgot his name, Casimir resurrecting him.
Huh.
So he may or may not be tied to Strahd now as well.
Funny, I might have just been proposed to take Strahd's place by the formerly deposed deities of this land.
Sweet. Well, we have options.
Yeah. Let's go get drunk.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. With that,
Doug, I do want to ask, when they said the other, they were referring to my patron, right? Like,
yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there was if they were referring to the wizard or that
no, sorry,
that cult of knights that we were supposed to be looking at.
No, they were definitely referring to your wizard. So your patron. So if I didn't make that clear, I will retro make that clear.
That was the Fae.
Just wanted to
be
crystal clear.
Yeah, and they specifically said, and there was one important sentence here. Hold on. You bring a power that is not welcome here, but you are not the first. There is another. Specifically, is what I was trying to drive at there in that sentence.
I gotcha. I wasn't sure if that meant that there was somebody else here also brought a power, so there was another world.
That's what I was trying to infer. Yes.
Okay, so it's not his.
So it's not my patron.
Well, yours is not welcome, and they were saying that
Yes.
there is another. Yes.
So there is a second, another base kind of person like me, or another Feywild creature, warlock character here.
I'll let you. Yeah, I was inferring that someone brought something. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I'm
So yeah, as you think through that,
more
yes.
confused now than ever, but
Excellent.
Let's move on.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, the five of you are rejoined, cleaned up as best you can. You guys gonna head straight to the Walkthrough House at this point?
I think so.
Yeah.
Did Ethan want to do anything before we go, or?
No, I would have Rivers just would have gone to his room, splashed water on his face. That's basically it. Rested for a second,
He doesn't have any cool magic to get involved in that part of the story. Sorry.
No, Rivers does a lot. He's okay with if it's hey, Rivers, we need to just sit down for 45 minutes right now. He'll just literally sit and contemplate on the things that's happened to him in his life, and then just get up and be good to go. And it's all right, let's do it.
Sounds like a terrifying place. Just in his head, sounds like a terrifying place to be.
He's got a lot of baggage. He's carrying around.
As you leave the bar, it is slightly busier as you get into the evening hours. There is a number of locals now. The hunters are gone. The two rowdy drunks are still there when you come downstairs. But the bar is a little bit busier. There's now another worker helping kind of get through a dinner rush, as most of the tables are now full. But you are able to make your way through and out into the chilly air this evening as night sets in. You can see in the distance and hear the cracks of thunder, and still miles off are dark clouds you can see rolling in. The city streets themselves are lit now by torchlight, kind of scattered throughout. There are street lamps that have been lit with traditional, lanterns. Periodically, it's still pretty dark. There's not it's not bright lights by any means, but the occasional street lamps dot the main road as you make your way through. It's a relatively short walk, but about 15-20 minutes. But you make it to the kind of juncture that heads south as the first stop. You're not far from that, and that's about a 15-minute walk from there north towards the lake. As you're making your way up, again, the street's a little bit busier still, but you can see starting to dwindle off as night is setting in. It's less crowded than it was when you first came in the morning. The houses on the south section as you move, north section as you move north towards the lake, definitely get nicer as you get further along, as you see some much larger properties north of here. But it's not long before you, and there's little signs, near gates that kind of have family names, especially as you get further up north. You can see these are more like estates than just little slices of property. But you come to the Wachter house, and it's a large two-story building. Most of the buildings here are one-story. There's an occasional two-story building, but a large two-story building, made mostly of wood, well-lit, huge estate, kind of on all sides, nice, well-manicured grass. There's a small stable behind it, behind the house, and a walking path, big enough for a horse and a carriage to use, that makes its way up, halfway up the estate, and then it splits, one side going to the back, to the rear where the stables are, and another path, smaller footpath that leads up towards the front doors. And the outside house is well lit. You see little torches that light the walkway are well lit. The front of the house is well lit, and that's what you see. Lights on in the windows, upstairs and downstairs.
Guess we go to the door.
Who wants to knock?
Head up. Okay.
Looks pretty welcoming.
All right. You make it to the door. Grab my map real quick just to color it out. There are two little torches on either side of the door. A reinforced wooden door, very ornate brown door with gold trim throughout. You can see a number of windows to your left as you're walking up. You can see, it looks like it looks into a well-adorned dining room, and you can see right into the windows as you're making your way up to the front door. Knock, I assume?
Yeah, give it a good sturdy knock.
Very quickly, the door opens up, and you see a human man that was with her holding an umbrella when you first came into the city. Earlier this morning, she called him Vladimir, and you recognize him. It is him again. He gives a bow as soon as the door opens. He gives a bow. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Madame Wachter is waiting for you, or is expecting you. Please, come in. And he gestures to come in.
In we go.
Yeah, here we go.
The door leads in.
Bow. Yeah.
Okay. He nods again. The door leads to a pretty small foyer where you can see a pair of doors on either side that looks like small closet doors. And then another door that leads in, which he opens, leads further into the house. The foyer is well adorned with some very small knickknacks and little tables with little artifacts on it, a nice little vase, that kind of thing. Just thing that a wealthy person would have in their foyers. He opens the door to a small little section with doors that lead to the left and to the right, and stairs that go immediately up. He moves to the left and opens the door, which would lead into the dining room from the way you were coming up. He opens that door and walks you in. Please, this way.
As we're walking through, Doug, I am keenly just kind of like looking around, and I'm making it look like a sort of like in awe of this wealthy person's home, but I'm really looking for any sort of signs of like deities, religious artifacts that might, like say who she prays to, sort of thing. If there's anything around.
Got it. That's on my.
I will assume that Calsolis is looking for things to steal.
I also thought that's where that was going, but
I only have a +7 at sleight of hand. I'm much more insightful than I am at stealing.
grab my book.
Well, I mean, you do have this kind of like kleptomania kind of tick to you.
True. Depends on what I see.
+7 sleight of hand.
Yeah, just +7.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
my insight is +10.
Jesus.
My sleight of hand is also +7 actually.
Doug, any armed guards we've passed so far?
No. You've not passed any guards. Vladimir is the first human you've seen. First anything you've seen so far.
I assume we're also all armed.
Yeah, you guys tell me. That's probably a good question. Are you bringing your weapons with you?
Yes, from me.
As far as anybody can tell, I am unarmed.
Okay.
It scares me a little bit. I didn't bring my hammer.
You did not
walk
bring
around with it. No. It seems a little silly to walk around with
Good
a
to
hammer.
know. Good to know. All right. Well, he turns to this open room, which he walks you into. To your left, you see this giant dining room table with about 8 chairs surrounding it. And to the right of that, further into the room, further into the house, is what looks like a living room area, kind of attached to the dining room. There's a fireplace lit and crackling with fire. And there are 3 beautiful couches they look like the finest leathers, around basically a coffee table. And she is sitting there at one of the on one of the couches, watching you guys as you come in. I assume Zora is with you guys, unless you want to. That's a good question. Unless you want to have Zora stay outside, back at the hotel. What do you guys want to do? I assume she's here, but we can also assume she's not.
He was with us when we got the invite. I don't know why we wouldn't have brought her.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I realize Jeff's not here, but I'll take care of any conversation if it comes up.
I mean, I'm not sure they're going to have whatever the fuck it is that Zora eats.
She eats.
I assume skulls?
Bone meal?
She drinks soup out of skulls.
Flesh.
Yeah.
Rotting
Just going on and on about bone broth. Like that chick.
The carnivore diet, dude. Hell yeah.
So, anyways, there are 3 couches. She is sitting at one of them. Does not get up as you guys come in. You see this blazing hearth, like I said, in this little sitting area, above which is a giant painting of a nobleman looking basically down into the room. It looks like a human male of some sort, but he looks like a noble. He's got a cane in his hand, and he's just like he's staring into the room, pretty much. There are other paintings around this sitting area as well that you easily quickly see. One of them looks like a family portrait behind one of the couches. You see a woman that looks very similar to Fiona. You see 2 kids, 2 boys, probably about age 10 or 11. A girl with also red hair, similar to Fiona's. And then that man that's in the other portrait standing next to her, the 5 of them, all together for a family portrait, it looks like.
Does he look old enough to be her father or husband?
Looks, from the family portrait, looks more like husband.
Okay. And did I see anything along the way?
No. Nope, not yet.
No, okay.
Additionally, from this room, just to color it out, just so you kind of understand the space. So again, there are 2 windows that look out into the front yard, which you guys passed. There was another window in that dining room that actually would face due north directly behind the dining room table. There is another door near the dining room table that leads into what looks like some other side room that goes off of this dining hall. And then there's another door north, which is near the couches, right behind where she's sitting, that leads further into the house as well. So there's 2 other doors in here in this section that you can see. But she is sitting there. There is a carafe of an empty carafe currently of crystal carafe and cups sitting on this couch, this coffee table. And she's just sitting there and legs crossed. She's wearing the same green olive dress that she was wearing earlier today. Red hair is now flowing. It looks like it's been styled a little bit. But she smiles as you enter. Welcome. She kind of motions towards the couches. Please, join me.
Doug, does it smell pretty good in here?
Yes.
Like food? Yeah.
Yes, you could smell food cooking, and it smells good. It smells like, I mean, you've only been here a day, you've only had a couple of meals, but it definitely reminds you of home. A well-cooked, some kind of cooked meat is wafting through the home currently. There's nothing on the dining room table yet, but you can definitely smell food cooking.
I'll step in and say, my lady, thank you again, and give like a very clumsy, very incorrect bow to whatever type of custom would be expected. Just like super awkward, and probably like bump a piece of furniture on my way in or something. Thank you again for...
No, thank you. And she, as she says that, she pats the couch next to her, Ethan, gesturing for you to sit.
Me? Oh gosh.
Heavens, no! Oh, stop!
Oh goodness.
Sure. I mean, I'll saunter on over, walk over. Fucking Straight River is walking across this like nice ass room, and his like chain is rattling, and his flail is like bouncing against his shield and shit. Just like sounds like a soldier walking across the room.
You can just hear like his boots like making gouge marks in the floor.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll walk across if everybody's coming with me.
Okay.
Chill in the seating area.
Do you sit next to her where she gestured?
I'll sit next to her. Sure.
Okay, great.
You have a lovely home, I'll say even.
Thank you. We've been very lucky.
Yes, where I come from, it's very rustic, a very very humble origins for me, and it is I must say I feel a little out of place in somewhere such as this. So please forgive me for any offenses that I may accidentally impose on you.
She places a hand on your knee when you say that, and she's like, "Oh, please, don't make yourself comfortable." And she's wearing, okay. And you notice she's wearing a wedding ring.
Oh dear.
What are the rest of you doing? So Rivers goes and sits down.
You know what? We don't know the customs of this place, or what her total situation is. Might be to understand.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I find a seat, Doug, that allows me to see her, where I'm like able to really see her, but also keep an eye on all the exits.
Okay. All right. Well, one of the couches will give you sight lines directly at her. Both the other doors that lead out of this place, the only one you wouldn't be able to see is the door you came in really well, because that would be behind you. There's really no seat that would see all 3 doors.
Sure. As much as I can.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming Lysander will realize what I'm doing and pick up the last entryway.
Yeah, I will. I will, in a fairly, I would imagine, charming and refined way, say, Your Ladyship, thank you for receiving us and extending us the courtesy of your hospitality.
Of course. It is so rare that I have guests of... I'm so glad you accepted this invitation. It's so rare that we have visitors of such competence these days.
Well, these days...
As he says that, I kind of walk around the couch I'm going to sit at, put my hand on the back and jump over it like
Right.
just totally offsetting everything he's doing. Land on it. I'm just like, yeah, this is nice.
Okay, I'm gonna activate this room just so you can see it. It's easier for me to describe.
Okay.
Than just so I can activate it. This does not mean I expect combat. It's just the book happened to come with a map.
Draw weapon.
Draw weapon.
It happened to come with a map, so I'm gonna use it. Activate. All right, so you should be able to see what the room kind of looks like. Now,
Turn the lights on.
what's that?
I said turn the lights on.
All right, so that's what you see. So you see these 3 couches. Darren, you jump into your seat, and what about you, Roderick? What does your entrance look like?
Awkward, slow, scoot over to Fiona and Rivers are on the
1, yeah.
okay, and Lysander and Calsolas sat on the other.
Well, I'd say so. Calsolas would probably be here. I've got him there. And Lysander, if you want to be able to see the other door, probably there would be the best couch spot. So you could be at either couch with Lysander or with. They each hold 3 people in reality.
I got this. Walk over in between the 2 couches and look between, and then indecisively just butt on the arm.
Okay.
Right there.
Got it. So right between them. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Darren, the first thing you would notice is that as a former rogue, that crystal carafe is crystal. You can tell that. It is probably worth 150 gold by itself.
If this were Divinity, lift that shit, dude. Snag it. Steal the art off the walls. Let's get paid.
That is so true.
So true.
But yes, that crystal carafe is pure crystal, and it is worth a fortune. Yeah, probably 150 gold.
Don't
so
forget to put Zora on the map.
Yeah, I did it just so you can see the map. But yes, she would also she would take a seat next to Lysander then.
Okay.
And just stare at you, kind of awkwardly.
As she's staring at me awkwardly, put my hand on top of her head and like rotate it forcefully, like away, without looking at her. Just like, yeah.
Vladimir, please bring some wine for our guests. The good stuff from the cellar. He bows, and you see him go through the back door in this room and disappears. Dinner will be ready.
Before I interrupt you.
Oh, good.
I was gonna say, which of the doors are the ones that we came in?
So you came in from over here. That's where you would have come in. So Lysander, you should be able to just see that door. Darren, you should be able to see the door to the north where Vladimir just went out. And then there's another door over here is the other door that leads out of this room. The rest are windows. You may not be able to see it from your vantage point in reality, but you generally see where it is.
Yeah.
So Vladimir disappears, and she says, dinner will be ready in a few moments, so please relax. We'll have some wine. I'd like to hear about you. What brings you here to Vallaki? We were interrupted in the streets this morning.
Look around at everybody.
We were brought here by invitation.
Yes.
Agree.
Yes. The Vistani, I assume.
Yes.
They do that from time to time.
Yes. Apparently the invitation was a bit of a ruse, so we managed to find a couple of guides to try to help us orient ourselves and try to find a way out of here.
I see. And that brings you to Vallaki. What do you intend to do here now that you're here? It is not very often that we have guests from beyond the mists here in Vallaki.
and it sounds like they don't last long when they do show up.
Yeah,
That is true.
Maybe if you let a few people leave, you'd have more of a tourist trade through here.
I'm afraid I can't. It's not in my power, at least, to help with that. So,
What is in your power to help with?
that depends. Depends on you.
Meaning?
Well, first let us talk more about you. What do you intend to do now that you're in Vallaki?
Well, we
Right
mean
now,
to get our. Go ahead, Darren.
Oh, good. No, go ahead.
So say we mean to get our bearings, get a foothold, maybe make a little bit of coin so that we have some leverage to get help from some of Valaki's folk, and gather what we can about your little town here.
Yeah, most of the people in Vallaki are morons. I wouldn't put too much stock in them. Most of them are dumber than the candle wax in these candles.
Still, it seems like there's plenty of work to be done.
I suppose. The door opens. Vladimir reappears. Mistress. He puts down a bottle of, looks like a very old bottle of wine, which he opens quickly and pours into the carafe. That'll be all. Please go check on
I
dinner.
can see you're not in danger of the wine shortage, or not affected by the wine shortages of Vallaki.
Well, I keep a bit of a... keep some on storage, of course, but this is a special treat for special guests. They haven't made this brand in probably close to a decade. This is the best wine in Barovia. It is a rare treat, she says, and this time she picks up the carafe herself and starts pouring glasses.
As she's doing that, I'll say, what I really intend to do is, as I'm sure it's no surprise, and we all want to do, is leave this place. And I'm curious. I'm curious as to really the best way to do that, and I think that what you have for us is going to hopefully align with my desire to get out of here, because I'm from far away, and we all stumbled here somewhat by accident.
Yes,
And this is certainly not our home.
I understand. I might be able to help with that. Perhaps, if you help me. There may be ways. She finishes pouring
As
glasses.
they're talking,
please.
I'll say as soon as she's done, I take take a glass and I start swirling it and smelling it as if I'm a wine connoisseur, but I'm actually checking for poison or any other sort of, whatever.
Sure. You don't detect anything odd at all. And in fact, to potentially dissuade your concerns as you're doing that, you see as she finishes pouring the glasses, she picks up one of the glasses and immediately takes a drink.
I was going to say, while he's doing that, Rivers would down the whole glass.
Okay. Rivers, as you do, make a... No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Just like old days.
I have flashbacks of Gleb in my
Yeah, I
head.
was going to say, just like Glove, dude.
Yep.
Just like Gleb.
So it is the finest tasting wine you have ever tasted. As it goes down, it is smooth, it is refreshing, it is better than anything you have tasted in Aerith, and 10 times better than the wine you drank when you got here.
Reach to the carafe and pour myself another glass. In that case, I mean.
Yeah, it's good. Anybody else? Is anybody else drinking from this wine as she pours the glasses?
Yeah, once I know that it's cool, I start taking a sip.
If you do, you get this sense that this is really good. Better than anything you've tasted here. One of the few joys in Barovia, she says as she takes another sip.
And why did you say they stopped making this?
Oh, I do not know. It's been years since this brand has been available from the winery. I do not know much about their business, but I keep a little stock down below for special guests.
What
What
makes you think we're so
business do
special?
you know a lot about?
What did you say?
I said, what business do you know a lot about?
Oh, I know a lot about a lot of things, friend. We are friends, right? Could be.
Blush a little bit. I guess.
Rivers, her hand is still on your leg, by the way.
I was gonna ask that earlier. I was like, she's still got her hand on my leg, or what's up?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll like lean in a little bit. My lady, please tell us what it is that you brought us here for, and what help you need. Like I said, we're looking for any leverage and direction we can get to get out of Barovia. So if you have an offer, we are keen to hear it.
I'm glad to hear it. There are very few ways out of Barovia, as I'm sure you've figured out. Madame Ava and I have had many conversations about this very topic. The death of Strahd, perhaps. If he was killed, many have tried. None have succeeded.
It seems an impossible task.
Seems unlikely. Potentially breaking of the curse, perhaps. Or
Are those not one and the same?
Madame Ava felt that there may be other ways than just death to break the curse. Strahd has made a pact with the powers of Barovia. If that pact was undone, perhaps an exit could be found. Or, Madame Ava once believed that the magics that bind Barovia are tied to a single person, someone tied to the land specifically, and, well, let's just say, what if that person wasn't Strahd any longer? Then they would have the decision of who can come and who can go. Any of these are potential ways to exit that Ava and I have spoken about. All difficult, of course, but possible.
Has there ever been a person, to your last point, who it seemed that the land could tie itself to? Has there ever been someone aside from Strahd who was to make that connection?
Well, that's an interesting story. As she starts to say that, the doors that you came in opens. Dinner, madam, is ready, a Vladimir once again says. And as he says that, 3 other servants come into the room bringing food and starting to set the dining room table. And you can see vegetables and fruits and beautiful cooked meat that's, like you can tell it's some sort of an animal, like a pig or something's been roasted and cooked. And you just see all this food, far more than you guys could eat, just starts being spread across the table. And
Clearly
she continues.
You don't know Roderick.
What's that? Yeah.
I said, clearly you don't know Roderick.
Yeah. Couple grown boys.
She takes the interruption in stride, though. She sees them, but she keeps talking as she gets up, takes her hand off of your leg for the first time, and gets up, kind of motioning towards the dining room table, which she almost floats to. I mean, like, not like actually floats, but you can tell there's an elegance to the way she moves that it almost looks like she's floating as she moves across the room towards the table itself. And she sits down at the end table of the dining room table. And she keeps talking. Are you, the rest of you, making your way to the table as she does?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get up while she does, especially if the food lands. I'm
I was
pretty
gonna
much
say, with
like,
some
oh, hell
speed,
yeah,
too.
like, let's go.
Yeah. Where was I? I actually forgot where I was.
The person,
about,
the connection to the land, the person.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yes.
Yep.
That is an interesting story. She continues. It is said that Strahd once believed. You understand that Strahd is trapped here as well, do you not? Did Madame Ava, I assume, told you that when you met with her?
Yes, she did.
Wait, time out. Did we mention that we ran into Madame Ava with this woman?
Nope.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was a little weird that she was Never mind. Go ahead.
Nope, that was intentional. That was intentional.
Yeah.
Not a Doug forgot. No, that was intentional.
Okay.
I assume Madame Ava told you that Strahd is a prisoner here himself. She's talking to you, Rivers, like pretty much like eye to eye as you sit down.
I think I would ascertain that it doesn't really matter if I lie, so she did.
Yeah. Well, Strahd once believed that if he could find someone worthy of the land, that he could leave himself. And that is why, for many years, it is said that he brought in outsiders to this land, someone worthy of the power of Barovia, that the dark powers might take in to replace him. I don't know if there's any truth to that, and of course, none was ever found. Most of them just ended up dead. Well, all of them, as it were. But it's possible.
So
At least Madame Ava believed it was possible.
No one stands out then, out of the whole.
Not so far. And as she says that, you sense anybody with a passive insight of anything more than like 14, you would get a vibe when she says that. When she says so far, you get something off of that.
My passive is 20.
Yeah. You can tell when she says that there's more to it when she not so far, kind of suggesting that somebody maybe could someday.
Have you had this same conversation with all of our predecessors?
No, I have not. I've not seen anything quite like you all that have come through.
Doug, is the food on the table?
Yeah, it's on the table.
I'm gonna start stacking my plate.
Yeah.
Like
You start
soon
eating.
as I sit down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's delicious too. The food you ate at lunch was very plain and bland, very much like what you see around the land. Like everything here is sort of bland and bleak. This food seems really seems really good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like vibe would be like wildling, like customarily, like Northern Village would be like everybody just eat out off a carcass over the fire. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like grease dripping down the beard kind of situation.
Yep. No, I have not spoken about this with everyone. Things have changed.
What's changed, and why do you think we're so special?
Well, a little birdie told me what you did in Barovia. In the village of Barovia. Sorry, I need to correct this, otherwise it's... Which Barovia are we talking about? A little birdie told me what... New York. What you did in the village of Barovia, standing up to Strahd and his beasts. Quite impressive.
From what I understand, there's a wizard that defied Strahd that still lives.
Yes, he is a fool. Crazy, too. Every once in a while, you can see him. You can see lights across the lake through this window. She points to the window behind her, because basically this window looks over the lake, or looks towards the lake. But he is a crazy old man now.
But he's alive.
Yeah, alive, for now. You asked me why I brought you here.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
sorry.
I was going to say, tell us what it is you want.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to stand on ceremony or beat around the bush here. No theatrics needed. Have you? I assume you've seen the what passes for leadership in this town.
We have, and it seems suspicious. I come from a place with odd customs, but some of the things going on here are maybe a little troublesome, and we did have an encounter with the Major Domo. We're certainly not trying to make any quick enemies here, but yes, I do think that it's a little odd what's going on.
Yeah,
I think Zora would bring up the people wearing animal heads in the gallows.
Yeah.
Odd is not the right word. It is stupid. It is foolish. Pure and simple. Hollow.
Which aspect
hollow
are you calling
proclamations, endless festivals, the hollow proclamations of defiance against Strahd. He's going to get us all killed. He is a child playing king in a rotten court and nothing more.
So, 2 questions. Why are they hollow, and how did he come to be in power?
He is a well, that's it. One question is simple. His family has been in charge of Vallaki for generations. His family is one of the founding families of Vallaki, and he is the ruler only for that reason. It's been passed down from generation to generation. More foolish than the next. Yeah, he would think so. He is not, but sure. He is in charge of this village, and he is unquestioned by the people. And they are just as foolish as he is.
Okay.
It is hollow because it is fear. It is based on fear and madness. It's optimism that's just disguised. He is a fool.
And the townspeople suffer for it.
They will someday, yes. That is what I'm afraid of. Berez stood up to Strahd, and there is nothing left of Berez now. It's a wasteland.
What of Krezek?
Krezek is run by a madman now. But they are
One
at
who
least
opposed-
smart at... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was to say one who opposes Strahd, or
He does, and it will likely get Krezek destroyed as well someday. I know what you're thinking when you hear me talk this way. I don't worship the devil Strahd or anything like that. You don't need to worry about that. But I do study him. I have studied him. I've learned from him. He's like any other man. He has wants. He has needs. He's like a fire. Dangerous. But predictable. If you know which way the wind is blowing. The Vistani thinks he's a savior. He is not. But he is not chaos either. He is powerful, but predictable. But I think, with the right person in charge, I think he could see reason. Because that's what he respects. strength, reason. Not foolishness.
And do you see yourself as this person, or do you have someone else in mind?
She smiles when you say that.
Do an insight check. What's behind that smile?
Yeah, I was going to say at this point, I've been.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go
What am
ahead.
I getting from her? 24 and a 22.
22.
Okay. You're trying to read through her. She's pretty well reserved and guarded. It's hard to get a full body read out of her, but I mean, you can tell when she smiles, she absolutely means herself. Clearly.
After she says that, I'm gonna like pause and put down like the bone of meat that I was eating onto my plate, and I'll say, my lady, with all due respect, you know, up in the north, my da used to have a saying, and he would tell me, Rivers, once a thief, once a murderer, once a hanged man. And I'm not really sure what that meant. But my point is, there's no dealing with devils like this. You think that you can make them see reason, and you think that you can cut deals and they respect power. Once you've been touched by the other side, and once a demon is involved, there is no solution but rooting out the evil and destroying what has taken root. It's an insidious evil.
Slowly start taking slower bites of my.
I was like, I definitely give Roderick a look when he says.
Just thinking, you're really not dancing around the table here.
Strahd will make no compromises in the long term. There is nothing but absolute power here for him.
Perhaps you're right. But perhaps, with the right allies, the right resources, perhaps Strahd could be eliminated. Perhaps then someone else could allow you to leave this place. She smiles again. I do not fear Strahd, she says, finally. She's smiling. She's just looking at her wine when she says this. No, Strahd is not my concern. Not truly. His rule is eternal here, only because no one has dared truly challenge him. He is powerful, yes, but there are more powerful things in this world than the curse of Strahd.
Title drop.
What's that? Title drop, that's right.
Title drop.
She just said something I wanted to catch on, and I just forgot what she said.
There are things more powerful here than the curse of Strahd.
Damn it.
He is only eternal because no one's desired, or no one has challenged him appropriately. Something like that. I don't fear Strahd. That's pretty much everything I said.
Yeah, I think that was it. Like, why do you? How is it that you don't fear him if everyone else on this damn plane fears him other than the Vistani?
When you say that, she looks at you kind of almost with a furrowed, like disappointed, like pity on you kind of look. And she just kind of shakes her head, taking another sip from her wine before she answers. My little friend, not everyone here is powerless.
I understand that, but why? What power do you have that gives you this bravado, and why haven't you used it?
Oh, that time will come quite soon. That is why you are here. Your timing is fortuitous. Vallaki is just a stepping stone, but it is the first step that must be taken.
For you or for us?
Perhaps for both. Let me be plain. Vallaki needs a change in leadership. Someone to bring order to the chaos that is this town and the resources it has. And I believe I am the one to do it.
Seems risky. Seems like the Baron, Baron, Duke, Mayor, can't remember.
It's Baron, technically.
Baron. Seems like the Baron still has a good amount of manpower and a good amount of pull. What you're asking seems like definitely a little bit of a risk, doesn't it?
Yes, that is to your friend's question. Why we cannot... And she says we like you've already agreed. She says we cannot act rashly. But I do intend to remove the Baron, clearly, quietly, and permanently. And with the right hands...
You already have some sort of plan in place for that?
Indeed. With the right hands beside me, we could reshape this town into something that actually can survive the night. And, again, be a first step towards something great. I know some call me ambitious, but I prefer the term visionary.
I mean, I assume she's not talking about like some sort of anarcho-syndicate commune where like everybody takes turns, but then all those decisions have to be ratified by the people.
No.
Don't
worry. I need your help to remove the Baron, especially Isaac and his ilk. You do that for me, and I can help you. We could have a union of sorts.
What would you propose?
A contract. Well, those details.
Surely we can't go wage war in the streets.
No, I would think something much more quietly would be in order. But Isaac has the loyalty of the guards. If he is removed, my followers, she says carefully when she says this, and she's looking for your reactions when she says that, should be able to handle those that stay.
Can I make a roll to see if this lady's a vampire?
Sure.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm like half kidding.
Well, you saw her in the daylight. I mean, she was out there.
Okay,
I mean,
all right, cool.
It was not direct sunlight. It was cloudy, but I mean, she was out in the day. She did have a, umbrella. I'll let you decide what that means.
Was it like a full-on umbrella or parasol?
It was like a parasol. It was like a parasol. Yeah. I mean, there was light hitting her. She does not look super pale. She looks like noble pale. She does not look vampire pale.
Okay. All right. Cool. So she doesn't have vampire vibes.
Look.
I mean, just because she's not a vampire doesn't mean she couldn't be any number of other things.
For sure. She said my followers. I don't know.
Yeah, she's also talking about contracts, which is like, immediately I go to like infernal, like demons, devils, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. This lady's sketch. But
Don't-
she's totally into me though, which is
She's totally into me.
Yeah.
super tight. So I think we can also go at it from that angle if we want.
Yeah, just see if you can honeypot her.
As she's saying, so she is eyeing you up, and I'll happily make insight checks for you guys if you are trying to keep your reactions measured. But as she's talking, I'm curious, what is going through your character's emotions right now? Are some of you thinking like, hey, this could be an ally for us, or are you all going, this lady's crazy, like we should get the fuck out of here? Like, what's your character? I'd like to hear everybody's reaction, and then and are you trying to keep it like covered? Those are my two questions. So, Drew, what's your reaction as she's talking?
Yeah. I mean, this person sounds like any number of my I can't think of the pronunciation right.
Megalomaniac.
Yeah.
Thank you. Megalomania clients that I've had in the past with like delusions of grandeur, and I will be keeping my composure in cards close to the chest. So if she wants to do something for me, she'll have to make an insight check.
Yeah. So are you thinking at all like this is somebody that could be beneficial for us? Or are you thinking we shouldn't be here? Like, are you having an anti-reaction or like, hey, we should really consider what she's saying? I'm just curious.
I am like absolutely not consider. I'm having the exact same reaction as like the slug, the spider, and the snake's offer of ruling.
Okay.
Just like, yeah,
Got it.
I'm not into this.
I'm not in. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a deception check, please, Drew.
Okie dokie. Ah, shit.
What do you got?
'Tis but a 13.
Okay. All right. Everybody kind of same general one or two sentences about what you're kind of reacting to. So, Ethan? Pat, you're next.
I'm kind of with it. I'm kind of with her. Like I'm skeptical. But
You're not throwing it out.
I'm not throwing it out. Yeah,
Okay.
no, not at all.
Is your reaction trying to be measured and guarded, or are you kind of like intently listening? Like clearly, like yeah, you're considering.
I'm pretty
her offer.
clearly listening. Also,
Okay.
if she's still kind of hitting on me, my wife's been dead for a long time, and so like that's just the reality of like the male soldier away from home.
Okay,
but,
got it.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sold because I think Rivers is also thinking about the state of the town and just like how it's clearly kind of some whack shit's going on.
Okay, got it. All right, Roderick.
Pretty skeptical up until the point where Rivers starts talking about finding bits of evil and snuffing them out even to the core, and then seriously just completely like forget what everybody was talking about in a little bit and come back probably when she was talking, we can take on Stroud, and then start agreeing with it, I'm eating the entire time, but eventually coming around to okay.
Okay, so and is yours just on your sleeve, or are you trying to keep your reaction measured? Okay, got it.
Oh, totally.
Right.
Yeah, just doesn't matter.
Okay, Darren, same question.
I am entirely skeptical of her ability to do the things that she's claiming that she can do, while also believing that she believes that she can do them.
Okay.
And it should be evident to her that I am essentially poking the bear the entire like all of my barbs are like intended to elicit. Like I'm not hiding I'm not hiding anything. Like it's obvious. It's obvious that I'm playing a moody teenager, and like you know what I mean. Like it's
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But I'm not opposed to anything she's saying, but I'm also like trying to make sure she sees that I'm trying to poke holes in her own story to see if, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yep, I got it. So she absolutely believes she can. So you're sure of that.
I have a 20 passive insight. I know that.
Well, and you made your 20. You had a 24, and Drew had a 22.
Yes,
she rolled a 22 on her guarded deception. So, hard to read for everybody. Drew, you're kind of mostly reading her. Darren, yeah, you've got her number. But she hides it relatively well. But yeah, she looks over the room as she says these things, and then she looks at probably you the most, Lysander, who is definitely seems like the most skeptical. You've dealt with these kind of people before. Yeah, she's like, I can see from your face what you're thinking, Lysander. And don't you worry. I am not what you think. I am not, nor am I another Strahd trying to just take his place. I think I could be more. Someone that can...
This is only the second most insane conversation I've ever heard today, so...
I think I could be more than that. Someone that could create order, law. Help me with the Baron, and I can offer you something rare in Barovia. Stability.
What?
Allies.
What are you offering us?
When she says that, start staring down straight into the plate with big eyes.
I can offer stability, power, resources, allies, and a place in a future that I intend to build. And as I said, perhaps a way out.
My new
Unless,
empire.
of course... Unless, of course, you prefer to be dancing through the streets like a puppet in the next parade while the wolves tear the walls down around us.
You spoke of followers earlier. Or what exactly would that be? If we are to put ourselves in the... You understand that if you're asking us to put our necks on the line to remove someone, and you're saying that your followers will be able to support us in that, we would want to know what that would look like for us.
Our numbers grow every day. Many of the townspeople have... Some of the townspeople have grown tired of this place and are fearful of what will happen in the days to come, fearing a Berez reoccurrence. I have many that would join us.
How many? Like, as in, what's the current strategic situation between you and the Baron?
A few dozen.
Are we talking about soldiers or townsfolk, children? Like, what? Give us an idea of what it is that we're...
There are a few of the soldiers that have come to my way of thinking. Townsfolk, yes. A few dozen. Enough. With Isaac dead, that we could take control of the town. Protect ourselves.
How many...
Strahd's ire.
How many soldiers or guards does the town have?
There are 30 guards total in the town. A few of them are loyal to me. But I don't
What
think
do you plan on doing with the Baron?
Oh, his time will come to an end here. Especially for what they did to my daughter. I'm afraid he doesn't get a pass. Him or his family.
And would you like to illuminate us as to that situation? I did take notice that we are dining alone tonight.
It's a PTA meeting later. So.
I don't remember. I'd say this is the problem with running two games in the same, world. Like what things I said to one group versus the other. But I don't remember if I said it here. But if not, you would have heard it in the streets. Like she has like a book club. Like Fiona has like a book club in town. I don't remember if it was this group that heard about it or the other.
I think
group
you said that to us.
Okay,
Yeah, it was not us.
It's hard to remember which who heard that little weird line for questioning.
Fiona has a book club.
Yeah, when you said PTA meeting, it reminded me that she does have a book club, and that's in the Curse of Strahd book. So you do you want to illuminate what that is? Yes, a few years ago, we tried a different approach to gaining favor in the Baron's household. My daughter was set to marry his son. Whatever that bastard, despicable human that he calls a son, whatever he did to my daughter, she hasn't been the same since.
Meaning?
She's gone crazy. Thinks she's a cat.
And what about the rest of your family?
He's cursed her. This is what she says, and then you... Okay. That's what she was about to say there. My brain is moving a little slow there.
Yeah.
They have cursed her somehow. She is crazy. Locked in her room.
And does the Baron know that you stand against him? I would take a step back instead of that.
I suppose he suspects that I do not like him. Does he know I am preparing to remove him? No, that is our little secret, right?
Oh, sure. We can keep secrets. I guess my question would have been, why is he allowed you to stay if you oppose him, but if he doesn't know?
Yeah, he's afraid of me, of course. My family goes way back to when the Zareviches came to this kingdom. My family was close with Strahd. With Strahd's father many, many, many years ago.
When do you want to put this plan into action?
Oh, very soon, very soon.
Speaking of your family,
There you go. There's
can
your
we
segue.
back to where the rest of them are? You spoke of your daughter, but it appears you have 2 sons and a husband, potentially.
Well, my sons are probably at the bar drinking. They are.
The drunk ones.
Yep. They are fools themselves. They are weak. They have been challenging since their father passed away.
Of natural causes?
Sickness, she says.
That's not a yes. I don't say that out loud.
Think it, don't say it.
Yeah.
I know there's much to consider. She opens her hands. But I assure you that Baron Vargas will be the end of this town. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. Strahd will grow tired of his antics. And there is no true power here, just fear hidden by optimism. And if we are not careful, this town will be wiped away like Berez. I see a different future. And I see allies that you need and I need. A mutual relationship that could benefit us both. If you consider my offer. I need people of skill and caliber And if you truly stood up to Strahd himself in Barovia, I know I'm talking to the right people.
You'll, of course, give us a little bit of time to consider your offer.
Of course.
I do think a measure of understanding what it is you're offering us in return, besides the vagaries of allies and resources, you should lay on the table so that we understand what it is what is in it for us to do this thing for you, which is obviously about you gaining power as much as it is about protecting this city.
Well, I suppose it's a question of what do you want. I have much I can offer. What does your heart desire, Calsolas?
Well, I think River said it best earlier. This is not our home. We don't want to be here. We understand that we can't leave. So how is it that you're going to help us get out?
Strahd is powerful, but he is not without weakness. He is not all powerful. If he was, he would have destroyed this place. He is one man. He has many creatures that follow him and that he surrounds himself with. But I think with the right resources, I think with the right people and allies working together in a mutually beneficial way with a concerted effort to destroy him, I think it could be done. And perhaps someone could take his place.
But why does someone have to take his place?
That is how the magics of Barovia work, according to Madame Eva. She understood the magics. She understands. She did not say understood. She understands the magics. Be clear about what she knows. She understands the magics of this place more than any. She has lived many lives. This place is created by the Pact. It is a pocket, a world within worlds. There are rules, ancient rules, and they must be respected. There was a book, a diary that Strahd kept. Eva spoke of it. Perhaps that will have greater insight to that question, if it can be found.
Do you have any idea where it is, or
Madame Eva never told me. That is one of the 3 items in your cards.
It's clearly his nightstand next to his coffin.
Madame Eva has never told me where she suspects it is. She didn't trust me very much.
Has Stroud killed Madame Eva before?
What do you mean? Strahd has not killed Madame Eva. What do you mean?
Alice in the foot.
She looks at you with
Wait, did you really not intend to do that, Pat?
I did not.
Okay. It's like, damn.
Here we are.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Yeah, too late now.
What do you mean?
What he means is...
Has something happened to Madame Eva?
No, interject and be like, what he means is...
You did say she had lived many lives.
I was going to say, yeah, you said she's lived many lives.
She is.
And she obviously opposes him.
Still, even with the whole team covering for me, turn about as red as my hair.
She has lived for many, many centuries. That is what they say. The Vistani say she is nearly as old as Strahd.
Here's to many more.
But she did not trust me.
Why did she not trust you?
She does not like my methods. She wishes... She kind of thinks about how to answer this for a second. She did not always agree with how I have come to my own abilities and powers.
And now we arrive at the crux. What abilities and powers are those, and what methods have you used? You understand, if you're asking us to join you, we want to know what who we're getting into bed with. And I reserve say that.
Wow, I just lost my train of thought entirely. I'm just laughing.
What is your new train of thought?
Yeah, sorry. I have made certain arrangements, sacrifices, deals to get where I am. That is all you need now. And that is my problem and my cross to bear. You will help me, and that is all that matters. And I will help you. Drew, you definitely, when she says the word deals, that definitely sticks in your mind.
Yeah, it's stuck in my mind out of game. So
yeah.
There's your other.
Yeah, I was just making that connection. Yeah, possibly the other. Then.
Yeah.
And with that, with those words hanging in the air, as dinner continues, and you all contemplate this offer, that is where we will come to an end for our short dinner episode tonight. So we will pick it up there with all those little tidbits ready to go for next week. So
drop my weapon.
Those people listening, have a good night. We will catch you next Wednesday on When Bards Attack.